very fine sand to like pebbles. They use it, but they don't call it the same things because they separate, they compartmentalize everything. This is for geology. This is for smelting. But they're all the same. If you know about all of them, you will see that they're all the same thing, because in smelting you can use different type of grain to achieve different type of structural bond. So anyway, because I'm looking to what I posted here. I think I've got. Do I have pictures of actual brick wall? I don't remember, but I know I have some to show. Look, this is a grain growth in metal forging. This is what metal forge looks like under a microscope.
It's interesting that it has these ridges on it. Each piece has just coming up the sides of them. Yes, the upper right hand corner one.
These that
one. And go to D. Go over to D, over to the right hand corner on D, and you can really see the ridges on that one. Yeah, see that? That looks like what we see a lot on the basalt columns too.
Yeah, but these are like what we were looking for yesterday. These heat striations.
Yes, heat striations.
This is what they will. But
they'll tell you they're pickaxe marks if you're in a cave.
Yeah. But you can see that the grain you cannot see when you look at with your eye. You don't see. For us, it looks like a smooth surface and everything, but this is a microscope and it looks like any wall that cyclopean wall or megalithic wall that you see
polygonal masonry walls. Yeah.
Like this, just exactly like
this
one.
Wall, guys, just look at it.
This is the microscopic view of forging grains, and this is a wall that has been they say built by someone, but they cannot explain how they fit every piece like a puzzle piece, close together. But
it grew that way from the heat.
Yes.
This is what happens to these places with different heat differentials.
Yeah, it changed the structure of it, just like this. If you take powder and you heat it, it's gonna change into this at certain point, and the more heat it's create pressure on it also while you heat it. So this will just come together. And also you also hear they put sintering aids, and it's mostly they put they call it flux, and mostly they use a fine powder, like what they use again, lime to make the bond. So exactly like bricks, lime is mortar.
Yes.
To make the bond. So they use it to put it to fill the cracks, and when it eats enough, it creates like this perfect pattern when this type melt, because the mortar will melt way before the brick.
That's right.
And also here, this one, it's better. That's the one I was wanting to show, because you can see that this is the temperature line and the grain size, and depending on the recrystallization time and stuff, it creates not only the heat change it, but when it cools down, depending on the fast not the fast
how fast the solidification process is. If it's quick or if it takes a little bit longer, you're going to get different results.
Yes. Again, just another example of what we see in bricks. And this is real rocks that are actually were bricks at some point. again, they use the same type of comparison with the other type of grain growth. Okay, so this is what we show earlier, but
Oh yeah, that's one. I like this picture.
yeah, because it looks exactly like a polygonal wall that you will find everywhere.
Yeah,
And this
one
one,
here
yeah,
too.
this is just the perfect grain growth, and this something happened. The material wasn't like perfect, or so many factors that can change the structure when it's heating up. All right. So just this one also, polygonal wall, just perfect one. Take a normal, it's almost the same size everywhere, but at some point, this is abnormal grain, and there's one boulder, and that's why some places we ask, oh, why did they put the boulder right in there, between the bricks? But they didn't. It just happened this way
That's
during
right.
this
It all
this.
makes sense now because before it doesn't. You got to make it make sense, guys. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here on this channel. We're trying to make it make sense, and I really feel this makes sense.
Yeah, because I could like show every section of this. Like maybe I could like just do it right now because I'm talking and I don't show any pictures of
Oh,
comparison.
there's some polygonal walls and stuff.
Yeah, I want to show like one, like this one. See.
Okay, guys. So here's a good example.
You see, it's all brick, but they will tell you, oh, they just put out the material that they found, but why did they put these small bricks? No, all of this at one point was all bricks.
That's right.
But because of this, you can see it's kind of this one.
Yes.
You can see these are perfect bricks, and then while it recrystallizes, some of them just pops out and change into, just kind of like this.
Yeah, these are great examples. So you look at a wall like this and you scratch your head. You're like, what's going on here? How the hell did they build this? I mean, was this just a style back then, clinker bricks and all that? Or are we looking at something else here? And clearly we've been looking at something else this whole time.
Yeah.
This is amazing, Chapu. I mean, absolutely amazing. This is the scientific evidence that we need to further the research in Melt0Gy, which is the study and exploration of these melted structures, trying to figure out the dynamics and the science behind it, and verbalize this in such a way that everyone can understand it and grasp it. Because trust me, we just came upon this yesterday, and we're still trying to wrap our heads around it. Not this particular stuff, the grain growth, but what we're about to show you here. This stuff we covered, last year, Chapu, correct?
Yeah, almost a year now. Yeah,
almost a year ago, and every day we're getting closer and closer and more answers to this piece to the puzzle here.
Yeah, because geologists and archaeologists will tell you that they use different kind of materials to build their wall. This is just
one of my favorite ones that they say is, in the bottom it's megalithic, and in the middle it's another civilization, and at the top where the smaller stuff is, it's a whole nother civilization.
Yeah, like
that kind of stuff.
Like this one also, it's really, you can see that there are bricks in between all these really growths, crazy growths.
And we were talking about how they lump up into one larger piece. Look at these large boulders here.
Yeah. So again, the same type of. I think. Yeah, this one is just a 3D representation. Yeah, and don't forget.
I love this one. This
everything.
Is really
everything that happens is a 3D three-dimensional. It's happening.
Yeah, and a lot of these we're seeing just the surface of what happened on the surface. We don't get to see underneath or how deep it goes or behind it.
Yeah.
But this is really interesting stuff here.
Yeah, this is just bubbles clinging together just to make a representation of how it becomes just one bubble if you continue to blow air,
Right.
And these are comparison with polygonal walls and the grain growth, and it does the same type of effect. They think they go
It's
ahead.
absolutely astounding because archaeologists have been all over this for decades, telling us that these are some kind of megalithic builders. They don't know how they did it. They must have heated the rock, reshaped it, and molded it into place. You see how they gave us a little truth there? It was superheated. It did mold into these formations.
Yes.
But humanity had nothing to do with it as far as actually constructing it this way.
No.
This is a byproduct of an extreme heat event that took place.
Yes. But don't forget that we always try to mimic what we see. So yes, at some places people try to make it like this, but you see the difference. It's not so perfect.
And this is why they cannot fit even a thin piece of paper between these rocks and stuff, because they are literally fused together.
Yes. Yeah, look, this is just the one. Now I'm getting to the pictures. Yeah, just different type of what people cannot explain or think that they. Yeah, okay, this is the same type. Okay, I can go into this folder now just because this is like a representation again of some growth, that goes on with the heat and pressure with things. So yes, what else? Like in this one, they say that when this brick was made, some pieces of quartz crystal just got into it, but it's probably due to the heat because look, it's pushing out from the inside. You can see it. And this is only in one brick. That it's growing like this out of it because of the I don't remember what I want to compare it to, so I'm sorry.
Sintered and melted. Look at this.
Yeah, just some other type of metal growth, because that's how they do it. We always see, okay, yeah, we know that when you heat something and you apply pressure like forging, you can make something, but you don't know how and what is going on the microscopic level. This is just showed us.
And the cooling process is extremely important as well.
Yeah. But if we didn't have any of these microscopic, we could find the same thing in nature, like just in those walls. They will tell you that we built it, but actually it's the heat that made it.
It all makes sense now. Half the people in archaeology don't know how this stuff was built. They come up with all their little theories and start scratching their head and say it's some ancient civilization that used to be here and they were megalithic builders and blah, 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 and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, we just talk it up to, millions of years and all this other crap. So we can go a little bit longer on this. I don't want to spend too much time on this.
No,
but you show a little bit more, whatever you want to show, and then we'll get into the meat.
No,
Are you good?
It's just we're done with just covering, because you can go into any group or on my YouTube channel. You can see the older video that we did that is longer, probably an hour long, of showing and reading everything. But this was just a short version because we want
Actually,
to.
if you watch our live stream, Incredible Evidence: Mountains or Melted Buildings, you'll see it on my YouTube page here. We go over all this because this is when we came upon this information. It was that live stream. Incredible Evidence: Mountains or Buildings, or Mountains were buildings. Excuse me. So we're looking at basalt columns now. We're trying to figure out what the hell those things are, why we find them everywhere across the plain, not just in specific locations. They're everywhere. And they always blame it on volcanism.
Oh yeah, I wanted to show something just before.
Sure.
I wanted to start with this. I forgot about it.
Whatever you want.
Did I? Oh no.
We got 28 people here now. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, just to remind people what our bricks are made of, just before, Okay. Because most, 55% of bricks are made with silica inside of it, and silica is what you would call the
lime, or no, the
no, a quartz crystal.
Quartz crystal, which responds differently under this heat and pressure as well, this silica. All these different elements that you see here are going to respond differently under the same exact heat, but each one will respond differently.
Yeah, because they all have like a role to play in these in bricks. Here you can say silica, just sand. The sand grain. Depending on which type of grain of sand you use, it would make your brick better or weak. But what I wanted to cover is the use of lime in bricks, because they put some lime in bricks, not only in the mortar that they use lime, because mortar is mostly made out of lime, but they put lime in bricks because it enables the silica to melt at 1650,000 degrees and bind the particle of brick together. That's the glue, if you want to call it.
Yeah, the binding agent. Yeah, I gotcha. To hold it all together.
We use it also to make the mortar. Also it's a binding agent there. But the thing is about if it's like a chemical process making a brick. You cannot just, if you make any type of brick from anything, you might be lucky and have a really good brick, but if you put what is it? No, here, if you put too much lime, at 11,000 degrees, lime acts as a catalyst to elevate the temperature.
I gotcha.
Just to make it fuse, because they use it.
Wow.
Inside of the brick, the temperature rose, not outside. So the temperature of the oven is this, but because of the lime, the temperature go up. All right. They slightly fuse silica, as strong cement. Excess lime in brick will cause vitrification of brick and will cause bricks to melt.
You hear that, guys?
So you have to have the right amount of lime in there, or the brick will lose their shape and become disfigured. And what we see, and I just said that lime is mortar, when this heat event happened with the mortar, and that's what we see everywhere, that the mortar like melts and fuse with the brick and become one. And also they use lime to put this the stucco that you cover it. Lime is used also in it. So these just lime combined with heat is just a chemical reaction that will melt stuff and make them fuse together, you know. But I don't know. This is like the original formula for it, because today they put some chemicals in the lime and the mortar to inhibit this type of effect,
Mm-hmm.
for not to go, for the temperature to go too high to fuck with the brick, you know. So now they have changed the way they use the mortar today because of this, probably because they know that it will make the wall fuse together, make the brick fuse all together if too much pressure is applied and heat.
Heat and
So
pressure.
yeah,
All right, good stuff.
yeah. All right, Jen.
That's
So
right. Bricks do melt. You know, that was a bone of contention for a lot of people in the beginning of this whole journey on Melt0L0Gy. That was one of the big things that I used to get thrown at me all the time. Oh, bricks can't melt. You're crazy. You're sniffing glue. You're whatever. Well, guess what? Bricks can melt, and we've shown it over and over and over and over again. And I ain't got to prove it to none of y'all out there because it's truth. Go look it up.
yeah, we showed it also on the last show with Rose.
Yep.
You know. So
All right. So we're going to get into let's take a look at what we're going to break down first. We're going to look at basalt columns. Let's bring up some pictures of what we're going to be breaking down today, so everybody's absolutely 100% familiar with what we're talking about. You can't be familiar with it because they're pretty interesting and pretty crazy looking, and nobody has a definitive explanation for it except for volcanologists that say that somehow these things are tied to volcanism in that area, whatever area that might be. Giant's Causeway, Devil's Tower, all these other locations all seem to be tied to some type of volcanism narrative.
yes, basalt. If they tell us that it comes from a volcanic eruption to the mantle of the earth, you know, pushing through, and you know, we cover volcanoes a lot, and it's a funny thing. I said to myself, okay, so if those basalt columns came from a Gulf volcano, where is the place that there's most volcano? And oh, Hawaii. So I tried to find basalt columns in Hawaii.
Mm-mm.
There's nowhere. There's none.
When they
So
can't explain something, they'll blame it on volcanism.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's hysterical. Because I think, I just think in myself, they should all be fired. So let's just fire their asses. Let's get down here and just do it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have it here somewhere. Where is it? Here we go.
You're fired.
Bye-bye, geologists. Bye-bye, volcanologists. Bye-bye, historians. Bye-bye, all of y'all. Because we don't need your lame-ass narratives anymore. We're figuring this shit out right here, right now. All right. Where are we going to take us to, Chapeau? What are we going to look at?
Well, I was looking at like what really is basalt. You know, they always say it's from the volcanic, and all the volcanic rocks and all this stuff. You know, it's crazy. They all say it's from volcanoes and lava. Everything almost, you know, lava flows, and all of this is basalt. Basalt can grow in different, you know, type of structure. It's the cooling that changed everything. But
we're going to get into the cooling aspect of this whole event, guys. I know we focus a lot on the heat and the heat differentials, and then we can see clearly that there was a super fast cooling event that took place because things are solidified mid-melt and have a viscousness to them. Yeah. So we're going to be focused more on that end part of the heat event, the X factor event, which is the cooling process that took place.
Yes. What I found interesting about what they say about these type of rocks, you know, basalt is just a name to define a type of structure or stuff, you know. The names is just, again, just a name. Yeah. But they have a high iron content, just like bricks. And
really? They have a high iron content, just like bricks? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and low crystal content, just low silica,
Mm-hmm.
but just not like bricks, but depending on the one, because they say that those basalt stuff from volcanoes, the silica is there's not much from there. I don't know, because probably the way it cooled down or
Right.
everything. But what I found interesting, that the basalt produced this soil they call laterite. And if anybody knows what laterite is, they say that they use this to make bricks. They cut directly out of the earth
Mm-hmm.
bricks from the
Laterite bricks, guys. You can look it up.
Yeah.
And we'll probably show some examples of it here in a little bit.
Look, I can go click. You can just see.
Okay.
So here they say it's laterite bricks, but you can clearly see here these are laterite bricks, because they say that they cut it. So this is one of the funniest geological diagram.
Yeah, take a good look at this diagram, guys, and look at what's at the bottom.
Yeah, they always represent the bottom part as bricks.
Could it be that it's a sub baseline superstructure of brick underneath of us, guys? Could it be, if it's set up like a motherboard's free energy grid system that God created for us? Could it be?
But yeah, look, this is what laterite is. It's just melted bricks, I guess. But they say it's basalt, a type of basalt rock.
So we're connecting the two here, okay? We're connecting the basalt to the brick, which is important, hugely important as we move forward in this presentation.
As I was looking at it, I found this one that you will find like really funny, Jen, because basalt is used in construction. Do you know what they use it the mostly for?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me, Chapu.
To making cobblestone, Jen.
Oh, cobblestones! No way! I just thought they were just janky old river stones that people picked up and put down on their janky roads.
So just another comparison with basalt to bricks. Because we have shown that cobblestone are just bricks changing forms.
Motherfucker.
That's right.
So you can see that this is what they call this magma flow is also basalt, but you can clearly see that they look like what some tree roots or things,
Mm-hmm.
But you know that this is not one, because it doesn't melt. And also look at how it cracks here, all just like the standing ones.
Right.
But again, if you all of this basalt, look at these bricks are basalt. Oh, this brick is basalt.
It's a basalt brick.
I know. This
Here's a melted basalt brick.
And you see all of this type of things, all these rock. They say even lunar basalt.
Oh,
they go there.
Brick, guys, lunar basalt bricks.
Yeah, lunar rocks are basalt, not petrified wood, like they told us.
Interesting, Chapu.
Yeah, it was so crazy, because I have some what they will call basalt right here in my hand, but there's no volcano around here, but only bricks and melted bricks. So I don't know what else to say for me.
You know what else? You know what I gotta say? Geologists, they're nothing but
ballless, soulless, spiritless, corporate little bitches, suckers of Satan's cock, each and every one of them.
Boom, baby. I cracked myself up.
So did you want to? Okay, yeah, we'll cover this basalt thing.
Yeah, let's look at some basalt. Let's just take it all in, what we're looking at here across the plane, these different locations, and how they look in their formations.
So this is what we know. Usually everybody knows these type of basalt columns. You can find them everywhere. One of the funny things is that most of them has these what we would call striations all over them, like this, but it's really interesting that they have all of these lines. Probably you can cut every piece of them just right to this line. It's nature gave us what natural bricks, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, you can see that they are everywhere, on every shape, every size, every.
Let's stop on that one right there. Here we're looking at somebody walking over top of them. These things go pretty far underground. So we're just seeing the surface here of it. And a lot of places in Giant's Causeway, you can walk over them as well. And I'm not sure if you have Giant's Causeway in here in your pictures or whatever, but they go deep.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't even know how deep, they are. I've got this location that
they're just popping out of the ground everywhere here.
It's been, but they say that they were structures with them, it's Ganong. Yeah, this the Ganong Padam site. It's been showed many times lately. Other type, this is same thing.
This almost looks to me like it was coming up and then it collapsed over on its weight, as it's going.
Yeah.
We're going to get into how we think these things form and how they relate to the solidification process of the extreme heat event.
Yeah, but it needed to be malleable to make this bend.
Yes.
But some will probably say, "Oh, they are roots," but yeah. I don't see that
this
way.
One right here is great. Let's just stop right here. Look. Okay, so we're looking straight down at the what you could walk across there. That part there along, that one, yeah. And look at the polygonal shapes here. It looks just like the walls that you see in Peru and stuff.
Yeah.
Except we're looking straight down, and these things are down in the ground.
Yeah, we used to see it in walls, but yeah, they did. It's the same effect here on the ground. Same thing, the green growth thing, but
and look at here in these basalt columns. Some of them you could still make out levels of brick here. Yeah, like that one there.
Yeah, kind of, because this is what I was telling you with these striations that we see, the lateral striation.
Very interesting.
But they could possibly be something like this. We really don't know. We're just showing you what we see here.
It's almost like these things lifted up as they were growing up through the solidification process, whatever's on top here.
Yeah, that's what we're going to show later.
Yes. Guys, we're going to get deep into this.
In a microscopic level, how these things could be formed. And why they form this, because when they start growing, or because of the cooling, the recrystallization of the melt, when they touch together, they stop growing laterally and they start growing like upwards. That's why we see this type of effect.
This makes sense. It all makes sense now.
And again, just nowhere. And this also is basalt.
Are those pickaxe marks?
Yeah,
Somebody pickaxing these suckers.
Yeah, these striations. Again, this is another effect, but these ones, I don't know how deep, they go. We never know. Like these ones, really.
I love how they get wavy up top too and stuff. This is great.
Yeah. I think we're gonna cover this also in the microscopic level.
Absolutely.
Why they're wavy like this? And then you got this one that people are talking about.
Yep, this is a huge one. So this area was impacted immensely for it to be pushed up and out like this. And we're going to explain all this, guys.
Yeah, how it grew, or or if it was something that was destroyed. We don't know, and probably will never know. But we can compare stuff and see if things like make sense a bit. All right, so yeah, these are just the ones of the three.
That one there is cool. Look at that one. I love that.
Yeah, another place, just another.
It's no accident that they grew in these polygonal forms, guys. It's all part of it. We showed it on the microscopic, the grain growth.
Yeah, it has to be with the cooling effect of the melt.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like this it's almost everywhere. But they all say that they came from volcanoes. That's really hard, and because we still volcanoes are erupting today, but they don't form this. You never see
new basalt columns popping up everywhere.
No, you don't. So again, the thing with what I say with Hawaii, there's no basalt columns. I couldn't find any. Maybe they are that, but I couldn't find any. If they were, they should be in Hawaii, but they are not. So it's really interesting where they come from. And here you can see they call it, this is a basalt column cast made from one mold from people, some civilization, they say.
So this is it's just blowing my mind here. That one was made by human hands.
Yes, it's not one that they carve like these ones. These basalt columns are human-made, man-made, cast in a mold.
Very interesting.
Because you can actually, they were so advanced, they could.
Let's scroll back in on that last picture, because I just want, the pillar, the column. One? Yeah, I want to zoom in on that. We can.
Oh, you want to see it closer up?
Yeah. I want to look up top here.
Yeah.
Check this all out. Wow. Looks like you can see a little red in there on that one.
Yeah, because they tell you the basalt produce the red because of the iron content.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they will tell you. Even you can see some reddish mark, but it can be cast. But you can see that. Look here, there's some kind of a brick pattern in this cast.
This is good stuff, Shifo.
So I cannot believe, but you can hear it's basalt. But this is in a museum. But I found this hedging really interesting because for me, when I look at it here, looks like these guys are like making the platform here for this by pouring. You can see that this guy is pouring something here, and these looks like they are like the same shape as the basalt columns.
This is very true. I should have hit that drop, but I have it on large on my head. Marlowe 1959 says they found a root system under Devil's Tower. Who is they, and have you seen this root system?
Yeah, if you call it the mine shaft, anyway. Where I won't and think whatever. I don't see how it could be possible. Anyway. So you get these type of one, Jen, that looks like what they are in Crowley column.
Crowley columns, and we've covered this. Actually, I have Crowley columns up on my screen share thing over here. So let me present real quick. You see that stacking effect there of the basalt columns? I'm going to show you guys Crowley columns real quick. Let me see here. Entire screen. Hold on.
And it's going to look a lot like these ones here.
Oh, those ones are amazing right there. Okay, so can you guys see this real quick? Is it up on the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, these are Crowley columns. They're in California, Crowley Lake. They're called Crowley columns. You can also see the stacking here, same as the other basalt columns. There's no volcano around this area, and they do not relate this, I don't think, to volcanic activity. They might say that this is volcanic in some way. But take note here of the columns, and then there's this huge piece on top that's straight, like as if it was pushing. These were pushing this thing up. See what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Again, you could see even in the water here, these like polygonal rocks, stones, and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to come off screen share and go back to what you got up here. I just wanted to show everybody that. Stop screen share.
But yeah, it's good, Jen. You can see on the ground there, you can almost see like parts of what was like at the top of this thing, what you were showing,
Yeah, can you go back to that last picture?
But this, just one second.
Sure.
You can see this is exactly what I just showed you in the etchings,
Oh yeah.
This thing right here.
Absolutely, Shipper. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Look at this thing. This thing trips me out. I mean, this is just nuts. Look at this, guys. Just look at it. Wow.
So here, it's really hard to comprehend what's going on.
It actually kind of reminds me of the temples in India.
Yes, exactly. Because when you look at these Indonesian ones, they're all made what they call basalt.
That's right.
They're all the black with the same type of rock. They say they made it with basalt, but when you destroy a wall, you can see that it's a covering, and some of them have bricks, but some of them have so fused together that they have no more bricks you can see, but some of them you can. So right. There's something there that needs to be explored more. But if some have bricks and some other, I maybe all of them have bricks inside of them once, but the EAT event really did something there in Indonesia. Maybe these big temples or thing were way before another civilization, before another catastrophe happened, but it's still there for us to see again, just like Sodom and Gomorrah and
right
everything.
Yeah. I think the X Factor event, this extreme heat event, is cyclical in nature. I think we're maybe only privy to the first or second one. I don't know how many there was in total within a cycle of 5,500 to 6,000 year cycles. I think we're probably at the fourth or coming up on the fifth and final event that could take place. And I think in the very near future, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that it's like the sixth or seventh, because they base their history on the induced
Kali Yugas and stuff,
or something like this. Yeah, but I need to say something about all of these. The story of the Indians is not recorded until the 1800s when the English went there. So what is real? The same thing with Japanese history, Chinese.
They didn't start writing the Chinese history down until the 1800s when some European went over there and said, "Look, let's sit down and write this shit out because we need a narrative."
So I don't know what is really nobody knows
all this shit. So let's sit down, dig out some dates and some emperors, and put it all on paper.
Yeah. Because the history really doesn't make sense. Like these powers countries like India and stuff being overrun by a small island like England and stuff.
Right.
There has something else to behind, to happen, to make this happen. It's really doesn't make sense. But yeah, this make this make sense.
Yeah, make that make sense right there. We're trying. We're working on it. Oh my gosh, look at this.
These type of thing just grows into this or this,
Incredible.
But yeah, we just wanted to show a couple of these, not everything, but when we were searching something, trying to find what striations, Jen, yesterday, we stumbled upon really something incredible here.
And when we say stumbled upon it, literally we stumbled upon it, guys. The Holy Spirit's leading us in this direction because, we weren't. The way it just came upon to us, it was just almost like, wow. I just don't even have words for it.
Yeah. So this, what you see here, it's I can't zoom in. This is a microscopic view of a lithium slice, and what struck me, it's how it's structured. Look at these lithium nanorods that they call, and this here,
Exactly. Yes.
the slice is just exactly the same as what we see happening here with these basalt columns.
That's right.
You know,
Absolutely incredible. That looks just like that Giant's Causeway there and everything. Unbelievable.
yeah.
So how does this happen? How does this manage to form like this? What caused it? Is it part of a building? Is it a tree? Is it a root system? We're going to get into all that, guys. But we have to break it all down in the science. We're going to go over the lithium and also bricks storing energy and what that has to do with all this.
Yeah, because lithium now is used mainly in batteries, to make batteries, and they use it for a lot of different stuff. And also, lithium, Jen, is one of the three things created in the Big Bang. so funny.
Oh, in other words, an extreme heat event.
Exactly.
The Big Bang.
But again, lithium is just another word for something that they described, some kind of metal, just like not calcium, but the other metal that is soft like this. It's like anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, so from this we just what is here I can just look. Can brick and rock replace lithium ion batteries for energy? But we covered this some time ago.
That's okay. We gotta go over it again.
Yeah, but there's nothing. It's just a video to see, yes, that you can really put energy in bricks and stacking up, and they make the same thing as a battery. And lithium ions are the most common that we use. Ion just mean that there's a energy exchange from the cathode and anode. That's the only thing, because there's two type of ions. There's cations and anions. It just means cathodes ions and anode ions. It's just like what we're gonna show. It will represent everything, that it's gonna bind everything, Jen. Like the electric universe, the melted building, probably maybe the trees together. Yeah, because this thing happens on every aspect of life and everything. This interchange of electrical energy, because everything is electrical energy. Everything that we see, everything that we, it's all, and not to repeat what Tesla mentioned, but yes, if you want to comprehend the universe, you need to think about vibration frequencies.
Energy, and vibration, yes. 369. I think it's energy, frequency, vibration, or is it vibration, energy, frequency? I don't know what exact order. I always thought it was energy, frequency, vibration, because then the vibration is the form itself, taking form.
Yeah. But all of this brings us to see that everything is the same thing, because here we're gonna get into this the science thing of thermodynamics, and thermodynamics is just the heat or the cooling of stuff, and everything is the same. And here they're gonna talk about mostly either crystalline, like everything is crystalline, but lithium or what else?
I find it interesting. I was telling Shapu yesterday, what are they spraying in chemtrails, guys?
Yeah.
What did we hear? What's the main thing? One of the main things that they spray in chemtrails?
Yeah.
Lithium.
Yes. And now, okay, yes. Wait, I got something else.
Tesla, Ryan, I see you're on the fence about Tesla. Tesla is just somebody who they gave the narrative to for free energy, as if you look at the world fairs and look at his inventions and the first time for electricity and all this stuff at these world fairs. He's nowhere to be found. He is just a cover story for all this stuff. I don't even think the man even really existed. There's only about 3 pictures of him at all on the internet.
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't at the World's Fair next to his great inventions, telling everybody how it works and stuff.
Yeah. No.
So I don't buy the. When we use that word, we're using it, and also knowing that it's a fake narrative. They just used him as the cover story for this free energy stuff.
Yeah, and to put a stop to people thinking that they could think of other things better, because now they set the standard. This is Tesla stuff. He found everything. This is what you need to work on. No. Mm-hmm. There's more to it, but they want you to only think about what Tesla did and recreate what he did, not create something new. But that's what it does.
As Fervent Heat is in the house, and I agree with you. History is full of actors and role players. That's exactly right. Welcome to the chat, Fervent Heat. Nice to see you back around here.
Yeah, Dee, nice to see you.
Okay, all right, so let's get into this.
All right, just talking about this laws of thermodynamics, because there's the 3 laws, and maybe there's another one that I don't know about it, but these laws cannot be changed any other way. This is how it is, and everything will behave the same way, because this is how this place was made. So that's why they call it a law, even though it's just a word again. But these laws of thermodynamics are rather complex in detail, and like we said, it's not easy to grasp in full generality, because there's so many stuff that can just change, just 1 degree of difference, or any something happening, a vibration that's not supposed to happen can change the result of your test. But what is interesting that they say here, that these laws don't just describe thermodynamics, whatever that might be, even say what is thermodynamics.
Whatever that might be, yeah.
Because he doesn't really know, but you use it every day with his stuff. But essentially, it represents everything there is, just like just say a Tesla thing, including just the life, the universe, and whatever else you can come up with, because this law of thermodynamics is the same for everything. Mm-hmm. And that's why when I say, when I represent something melting, it's the same effect with everything. Mm-hmm. Because some people say, oh, you just show like ice cream melting or a candle wax melting. Yeah, but everything that melts the same way.
Yeah, it just matters the temperature.
Yes.
Ice cream is going to melt at room temperature. Okay? A brick is going to melt at over 5,000 degrees.
Yeah. All right, so what else did I want to show you in this one? Yeah, the first law is energy is conserved, it never lost. And something that I really like in the world, this is one of the best quotes of these so-called scientists. Nothing is lost, nothing is created, everything is just transformed.
That's right.
just like in bricks or everything, it's just transforming to something else.
Exactly. That's how people have a hard time thinking, wrapping their head around cobblestones that were bricks at one time, or the janky rock they find out in their backyard or out front somewhere was a brick at one time.
Yeah.
But we've shown that with the polymorphs and the grain growth and all this stuff, that yes, beautiful brick can turn into janky old rock during this extreme heat event and cooling process that takes place.
Yes. And this one also, I consider nature as a vast chemical laboratory in which all kind of composition and decomposition are formed.
Amen to that.
It's the same thing. And in this one, what is it? You must trust to nothing but facts. These are presented to us by nature and cannot deceive. The only facts that you can see is in nature, not in. So, like I said in before, you can listen to what we say. You can, okay, it's good, but you need to see it for yourself in nature. And when you see it in nature, that just confirms that it is real. And this is it all. Okay, so what in this one, I think what I wanted to show.
Take your time. You're doing great.
Yeah, I don't think there's much here.
Steve, welcome. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Hopefully you're not tardy.
Yeah, here they gonna talk about this nirvana. It's just thermodynamic equilibrium where nothing changes anymore when the cooling stops and the heating effect stops.
Oh, that's nirvana? Oh, check that out. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, they call it nirvana when everything is
equilibrium. Like you would say where we're at now, kind of between X Factor events. See what I'm saying?
Maybe, because I don't really know if things really stop, because I cannot really.
I think there's still hot spots under us, certain areas of the grid system.
Yeah, it could probably be also. That's why some of these.
That's right.
I don't know, geysers or stuff.
It cannot be created or destroyed. It just transforms.
Yeah, and I think Jen, also lithium. Where they get the most of them from these underground geysers. What I don't know what they call again.
Spring, underground spring.
Yeah, what's there's a name for it.
Hi Faye, welcome. You're a little late, but that's okay. I got you.
Right, so I don't think that in this one, this one, it's just a lot of theory. I went to it, a lot of them, but that's a lot to get in one day. So
I know we were looking at all this yesterday, guys. So this is brand new for us.
Okay. Wait.
This is good here.
Yeah, I want to go into this. Okay, well, start with this one. So this is how the influence of segregation on the final microstructure. This is after the casting of metal, when it cools down. So we'll see what happens after something has been melted and cools down on different type of situation. So gonna look. This one is also for them. They always put it in a container, because if you don't put it inside a container, it will just spread out everywhere. But us here, the container is really big, so it can go.
Yeah, like a giant petri dish.
Everywhere, yes. And all of this, it's gonna tie everything that we've showed from the grain growth to the Lichtenberg pattern that we see everywhere on Earth. But yeah, Jen, I can show the eye up pictures also.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this big time, guys.
Yeah, just remind me of it. Okay. So this is what the cooling effect on this metal inside this container. You can see that it started to just make some crystalline clumps first, like we see like I just showed you in the sintering stuff. But now after this cooling, because they have started to try with different cooling effect, because the cooling must be either really fast or really slow. If you stop it mid cool and you let it go, it will create some effect, some defect, and some growing that you don't want to. And this is what it represents. Look how these lines start growing upwards, because now they just clump into together and the temperature has changed. So now they just grew in a different matter, just like these columns that we see.
Right.
And remember, what we see here happens on a three-dimensional level, not only upwards, but
I just want to mention here too that the basalt columns are high in iron.
Yes.
And bricks are high in iron.
Yes, also. But also I'm gonna tie that. Oh, I didn't save this. Oh shit. Okay. I thought I saved it. Okay, so we'll continue.
It's okay. Take your time. You're doing great.
No, I wanted to show a picture of something, but I don't have it. Okay, so we're gonna look at another kind of a structure when it cools down. What kind of structure it makes, and this one is copper. And you can see that for us, when we look at it, it looks really smooth and flat, but the structure, look, when it cooled down, you can see all the grain growing together, clumping, just like, again, these basalt column. Really similar.
Absolutely amazing.
Because these here you can see they start growing from all four sides from the cube, because through the middle. And we were looking for these striations. That's why we stumbled upon this thing.
That's right. We were looking at striation, guys. That's how we came upon all this.
Yeah. You can see, Jen, here all the same kind of striation that we showed on the basalt columns. The lateral striations here. But here they just...
Here they talk about temperature in the liquid drop rapidly, and normal supercooling might occur despite an abundance of nucleation.
Yeah, nucleation is just this transformation of the atoms.
All right.
Yeah. Supercooling in the heat to the supercooling of the melt, because
and it does seem like there was some type of supercooling event at the end of this, it seems.
Yes, there was, but we see that it wasn't supercooled everywhere. Like,
right.
At some place it took longer, or it was cooled by a different type of thing, maybe not from the big water wave that came from with the water, but with the rain. We don't know, but it's different type of cooling, and different type of cooling makes a different type of crystal growth after the thing. And okay, so I cannot read everything. It's gonna take a lot of time to go to this. I think this is really like a course into knowing how the grains grow and to cast metal and stuff like this.
That's right.
But not only metal, like I said, everything, because like he said, this applies to all aspect in life, because everything melts and recrystallize at the same thing. So okay, that's likely the contact of the melt with cold. Yeah, he's talking about the walls here that add effect with the growth.
The crystal nuclei and grow as dendrites.
Yes, we're gonna go into these dendrites.
Yes.
This is what they call dendrites in all directions. Here, what you see when the cooling effect goes upwards, like these basalt columns.
Yeah, they seem to be shooting upwards. That's right.
And you will see what we mean with this dendrite stuff. We're gonna apply it with what we already show in the motherboards and the Earth. We already, this place is built like a motherboard.
That's right. Mother Earth. And motherboards are green, and we have green grass everywhere.
Yeah. So I will just go in this one really fast again. So you get the point what I'm doing.
We could drop this link in the chat in case anybody wants to further explore it.
Yeah, because there's a lot in that site. Everything you can see, everything that we're gonna go through, it's on the side down there.
Somebody's tardy. Hold on a second. Jenny's tardy.
All right. So
welcome. There's the link, guys. Make sure you check it out. Do your own research. Don't believe us.
Yes.
What's up, Mark? Welcome. Yes.
All right.
Amazing info.
Right. You can see this. This is the fast growth direction of the dendrite in grain. Okay. So very fast, more after the impact formation of the chill layer without supercooling, the small grain grows rapidly, and then they put the cooling here, the another chill layer they has added already, and the dendritic growth that they call it occurs, because if only the heat here, this grain growth will continue normally like this, go on and on and on, just like the wall. But then this cooling effect just make this thing happen drastically, like it changed it totally to from this form to a column form.
You know what this reminds me of? Where they talk about God, I forget what story it comes from. Something about the future where some lands will disappear and sink, and others will pop up.
Will pop, yes.
This is what this is reminding me of, because if this is if this X Factor event is meant to wipe everything out and start over with new landscape and everything, this would all make sense.
Yeah, exactly. These they grew up from the bottom because of the heat from the bottom and the cooling of the water. They just came out of the water.
Steffi's here. What's up, Steph? You're a little late, girl.
Yeah, that makes some sense, because we don't believe in these volcanoes creating everything and plate tectonics, but this really makes sense. Yeah,
that's right.
Because of the water in the melt, they created these so-called islands.
Oh no, that's the parrotfish. They're pooping out those islands. Remember?
Yeah.
All right, you keep going. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
All right. What else can we see? We're gonna go into another, because they talk about how it affects with the solid liquid. So when they tell you solid liquid interface, they say because it's between a solid and a liquid. There, I guess there's no name for to talk about something that's in between these two states. But yeah. Okay. And the microstructure will be textured like this, what we see, a different type of thing that's been created after this eating effect. And here they talk about this growing a silicon from a single crystal. Silicon is just silica, and silica is just quartz. The thing it's in everything, like water, even in the hair, maybe in microscopic level, I don't know. But this is another type of structure that you can do while casting. Because this, I guess, they put the heat, they put the cold, and then they still added more heat afterwards. So they have two different type of structural happening, and we can see this type of thing if I go into my basalt column stuff. You can clearly see the same type of thing because where I'm trying to find one good one. Okay, like this one. You can see like this one. Well, we don't see what's underneath here. Maybe it started from the melt, but then something happened. It cooled down, and then something melted it again. So that's why you see probably at the bottom you will have some time of this type of grain also. But the growth just changed into columns, and then another heat cycle probably came, and you can see that it's another type of grain growth here.
Right, Chapu, right.
Just like, no, yeah, Jen, this is another type because this is the binary alloy. They put two type of heat, the normal heat grain, and then they cool it down, and then they eat it again. So they create this two type of structure.
That's very interesting. This could be a marker for us to see
because
different levels, different X factor events.
Yeah, because here you can. How do you explain this type of growth? Geologists, all this. It's volcanic from the cooling, but why it doesn't continue on?
Exactly.
But this is probably another type of heat, just hit or passed or heat wave. I don't know how does the heat propagate. Really something that I don't really want to experience. So.
But when we get into the that stuff we're going to get into about the heat with the lithium and stuff and the striations and everything should explain some of this.
Yeah. And this is a clear melt and cooling, like a perfect one. You can see all the grain is almost perfect, clear, no breaking, no. Like I don't know if people know about forging metals, but after the cooling is almost as important as the heating of the metal, because if you don't cool it right, it will be just brittle, and it's gonna break in pieces when you try.
And we see that in some locations where these basalt columns are, where they seem to be brittle and breaking off and stuff.
Yeah, but that's the depending on how it was really made from the beginning. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into another. You can see here a cellular growth on the metal, how it goes, exactly like these basalt columns again. But this type of thing, we want to go into these dendrite growths.
Dendrites, yes.
Yes, because this is what we see when we look at a crystallization of water under the cold, like crystalline, just a snowflake, like the pattern of the snowflake. When it cools down, you can see all these they're called dendrites. Dendrites can be applied with everything. We have some in our bodies.
What's interesting is that looks like when we show the mountains when they've melted out, it kind of has that pattern going down either side of it.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. The pattern. If this
Yes.
was like a building melting, and it goes just like the Lichtenberg pattern.
Exactly.
It's the same. This the same pattern.
Yeah. And we're
It's
going
the
to get
same
into all
thing.
that, guys. You're going to be fascinated when you see this
Because
shit.
they call it dendrite here, but they call it Lichtenberg pattern because the guy found it with another type of thing. Yeah, but it's the same thing. So this is, what is this one? Casting of the superheat of the melt. Yeah, you can see here just to show like the difference in temperature, how it can affect things. Because this one, melt temperature at 11,000 Kelvin. This is just an aluminum cast, and if you just put 70 degrees Kelvin more, the crystal structure totally change.
Right.
It's more
This
coarse.
is what we call heat differential, guys, and it can happen in one wall
Yes,
of a building,
exactly.
a very
Because-
small section of a wall, even.
Yeah. Because remember that these tests are made in enclosed area where they can control everything that can happen. But outside, you cannot control the gust of wind or the change of temperature or just the vibration from something. There's always vibration in the air from anything. Anything of this can change the structure. And here he says that the casting is exceedingly difficult, because if you have to have the right cast, and should have no leaks, and should no hair, and if only a small pocket of air is stuck into the cast, it's going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just a
they
tiny
have
little differential there, and it could change
Yes.
everything.
because that's why they have really hard time doing it every time the same thing, because if just a tiny drop of water molecule just gets in fact just inside, just they call it what's it called, moisture, just a drop of moisture gets got, it's gonna change everything. They talk about it in one of these texts. All right, so here just another dendrites. We were talking about dendrites and striations.
Mm-hmm.
This is striations happens in all of what is melting, because I'm gonna show here, it's not just but this is uncontrolled melting. But if you have a container that is controlled and there's nothing, probably not have striation because it's so pure.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, it's gonna have striations and dendrites inside. So you have the two ways. This is lateral and this is upwards.
Yep.
Into a melt.
And it's interesting how they're wavy like that, because we see the columns, the basalt columns, they get wavy sometimes like that.
Yes. I think they explain why. Because here they talk about the Woods blade. A Woods blade is just Damascus steel.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean, people know. So, no, this is the striation of cast silicon crystal inside a container.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody was swinging a pickaxe there.
What is this one? Oh yeah, because this also can apply to what we see happening, like mounds just popping out, because this is a cross section of the block and the melt is below. But sometimes there's a depression when it cools down,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes like a bump in a hill. But remember that when we talk about this melt, we're talking about the building melting from the bottom compared to what they're showing here. That is metal melting. But like I said in the beginning, the melt is the same for everything. I wanted to show another one. Not this one. Oh, these woods pattern that we see happening like almost everywhere. Sometimes I don't know if I have.
No, like if you look at like canyons in Utah and stuff like that, they look like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I think I have like some pictures I can show really fast. Don't know if it's gonna be here.
You're doing great, Chapeau.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome. In case anybody doesn't know, I'm just going to play this real quick.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Just saying.
Yeah, I see crystal makes me think of the factors affecting bismuth. Yeah, bismuth in natural form is not like when you melt it yourself and you pull it out, That's the only way you can have it form these type of thing. I guess depending on the type of cooling.
What's up, Crystal? We got 33 people here, Chapeau. Johnny Cool's in the house. What's up, Johnny? Look at this.
Look at this kind of melting.
That's just what you just showed on that last diagram too, where I said it looked like somebody was swinging a pickaxe. Look at that.
Yes, but that's not the picture I want to show. I know I have one, but I maybe not have classified it yet. So no, I don't think so. You see that I was telling you about this pattern, this melting pattern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think we're gonna show it later. Okay. So yeah, this type of thing, you can see it, everything, and they will tell you that oh no, it's the layers and the plate tectonic squishing together that form this type of pattern. But
that, can we zoom in on the one on the left? I don't know if you can bring this in or tighten this up a little. Yeah, this here. I mean, just look at that. That just looks like all the landscape we see now.
Yeah. No, yeah, if you look up high up pictures, you can see around mountains, and this is like terracing and stuff,
Exactly. Guys, we're learning as we're teaching this to you guys. We always are taking in this new information, trying to understand this X Factor event. It was not just things melted. Things were happening all over in the most minute to the massive locations, all at the same time.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors, so many different layers to this extreme heat event, and there's a lot of unanswered questions, and we're trying to piece these pieces to the puzzle together, and it's just blowing my mind.
Yeah, like CFM always say and always play that we don't know anything. We just show you, and we are learning at the same time, and we're trying to figure out this thing out because we don't know what this place is. We don't know how it really works, how it was, anything, because we've been lied to all our life. So this is, look, they say here, they talk about casting this woods pattern, this Damascus steel. To make it, you need to cut a section and then reapply the heat, But how the striated variation of some impurities can cause the formation and large defect in the thing. Not even have to cut it and make it yourself, because this one, they made it like this because they wanted this type of pattern. But it happens also if some impurities are in this in the melt. So
Hey CFM, are you late? I don't think you're late. You're
No,
probably
he was there.
yeah, he was there. It's fascinating stuff. It really is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing and
And
work
here,
it in. We're working it
can,
in.
you can see here, you do find similar striation in nearly all single crystals. This is true backed by mountains of literature.
And what are mountains? Gee, well, geologists certainly don't know what a mountain is.
Yeah. And then you will find some similar striation in nearly all cast solids if you look for them, And here,
and you might not see them with the naked eye, even they
no,
could be microscopic. So
but
there's
here
that.
you can clearly see a molted gold, and you can clearly see that it has created striations
Exactly.
on
Well,
it.
heat striations, guys.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. All right.
Okay, it's quite simple. Single crystal growth as complex art. Yeah. Because in one of these, he has a machine that he can create some crystalline stuff by heat and pressure in his machines
Mm-hmm.
in his lab. But he talks about all of steel and other stuff because they're all the same thing. They're all crystalline materials.
Johnny, you better be careful. He's driving, trying not to crash. Look at his screen and stuff. You need a cell phone holder that's in front of you, like on your dash, so you don't have to really take your eyes off the road. They have them at truck stops. Look, you might have one. I don't know.
Okay, Jen. I didn't read this part here, but we can read it because you wanted to know what striations are.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there you see that the striations arise from the fluctuation of the growth condition, such as change of temperature, cooling rates, pressure, or convection in the solution, or the melt.
Or the melt. Now, the reason we were looking up striations is because I think Rose was asking me, well, what is heat striations? This is something I can look up? Like, what are you talking about? We saw them, a couple of years ago. I've been calling them heat striations since day one in my book. But we didn't have the science, if you will, behind us to fully verbalize what it was we were looking at. And I think this really ties it all together.
Yeah.
So let's read that one more time about the striations.
Oh, okay. Striations arise from fluctuation of the growth conditions, such as changes of the temperature, cooling rate, pressure, or convections in the solution. That's what is in the solution that they used, or here in this place we will call it water,
mm-hmm.
or the melt, or in the melt if you want to.
And CFM show tonight is called Into the Melt, which I
love.
Oh,
yeah, nice. Yes.
The one I did with Rose, it was called Into the Melt with Rose 777. Yeah. We love going into the melt. But on this end of the show, we're going into the cooling process mostly. But the heat has to come first.
Yes. But here you can see that they continues with these fluctuation. All of these change temperature, cooling rate, pressure, convection lead to temporary changes in the growth rate, and thus to change the impurity of the thing that you are talking about. Could be anything, because can be a crystal, can be metal, can be bricks, can be rocks, can be anything. Water changing to a solid. It's called ice.
Yeah, people thought bricks couldn't melt, and then they see that they're all melty and runny and solidified mid-melt, drippy and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay. So a hard brick that, my house is made out of bricks. If the heat was right, this house could melt down into a liquid form, and then it would solidify. It would have a viscous shine to it, even.
Yes. Yes. In here, the only question is what causes those fluctuations of the growth condition. There's more than one answer to this, and he said They're inventing constitutional supercoolings. This is the supercooling that are just contained in a container and controlled. And it shows a picture of striations and called banding. He's calling it banding striations.
Interesting. Banding. I could see that as a term for it. I could see me using banding instead of heat striations. I personally like heat striations as straight and to the point. If you don't know what banding is, but yeah.
But caused by the convection in the melt. So in the melt, the temperature can variate, I guess, depending on the structure that it's getting into. I guess vibrations due to some motors, just the vibration from something close to it can change everything.
Right.
And the rotating, because some of these people just rotate some stuff, like in centrifuges, something like this. And God knows what other kind of external disturbance can cause these striations.
And you know what? It's funny because I was just going to say on the macro level, there was so many different levels, differentials, and things happening in different locations. Wind, water, all this stuff happening during the event. That this is why we see so many different things across the plane. So many different levels of heat damage. Something's really muffed up. They say it's ancient. It's older. Could it have been from 3 X factors ago or the last X factor? Those are up for debate until we find clear markers that we can define one X factor from the other, which I don't think personally we'll be able to totally figure that one out. I think in certain locations, once we know exactly what we're looking at, we'll be able to tell one event from the other. But in what order it happened and the dates and all that stuff, I don't think we can give that to you anytime soon.
What did I see? I see like right, that good striation, not quite fit. No, okay. First, the solid liquid interface phases. Solid liquid again means just in between, not a solid, not a liquid, but in between that state. They're always in a chaotic scale. That means they're not like achieve nirvana, and they're always on the move. Like we're talking about the molecular structure inside it. It's not stable. It can change like in any way just by we just read anything.
I don't know why, but when you just read that to me, I thought of earthquakes.
Yeah, because
we don't really know what's going on below us, and if there's heat differentials and hot spots and stuff like that, and things are moving and changing. They try to tell us that magma is on the move and it's moving from chamber to chamber and all this, all this crazy stuff on their volcanism narrative. So what if that's not the case? What if it's this?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're talking about a macro level. This is describing micro. If it can happen on a microscopic level, it sure as hell can happen on a macro level. The size doesn't really matter at that point.
No, and we read it. The first line that I read, he just stated that it's not about this, or it's about everything. It affects every state. So, fluctuation. In other words, there is no such thing as steady state on small time distance scale. No, not this one.
Melted inverted realm. I guess you're a little late. Yeah, in the beginning we covered the grain growth and polymorphs, which we've covered on other shows in the past. We've known about that for about a year now. But I wanted to bring that up again and go over it in case anybody's missed it or they're new to the channel, which leads us right into this new information about these dendrites and striations and polygonal forms and basalt columns and things that were happening after the extreme heat once the cooling started.
Yeah, we're comparing these dendrites to these basalt columns. That's what we're trying to do here, because they call it the theory of the dendrites, how they are formed after the cooling event. All the dendrite grows a certain length per time unit. They have calculate in their test. But also in the space between the dendrite, solidified at the same speed, same distance behind the dendrite. So it's like just like the basalt columns, it's they all squished together, growing.
Yes. Yes.
And um, there's something that I want to. I don't think it's in this one. Taking pattern. In case you didn't, I'm talking patterns formation, self-organization here, just like the walls, creating order out of chaos. Again, this is just talking about the large part of theoretical physics that they already did, but they did the melting in real, and they did test in the computer, with the data that they gathered afterwards. They just tested on computers.
So they made the simulation.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So nevertheless, self-organized pattern formation happened quite a lot in very different systems, and we see it ourselves in these polygonal walls and everything.
Yes, because the polygonal walls, they look kind of crazy, like the ones in Peru and stuff.
Yeah.
But yet, I guess once it's solidified, it found its nirvana.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, how can you have an 8-sided stone with all these other ones perfectly fitted to it and stuff and all this? It looks crazy to us, but it finds its organized nirvana, I guess, at that point. Yes. Once it's done growing.
And this quote just resumes it, everything that striations mirroring the liquid solid interface geometry are expression of rhythmically advancing interface obtained by self-organization, and that's what we see in the melt.
That we see these heat striations, and we see them sometimes. They're wavy going up the walls. They're going sideways, kind of diagonal. Sometimes they're going in a semicircle.
Yeah.
They call them pickaxe marks.
Okay, so this one, what was this one? They call it this one. Oh, it's the dendrites. Okay, we're gonna compare these dendrite growth with the Lichtenberg pattern that we see everywhere, and if nobody knows what is the Lichtenberg pattern.
Keeping in mind that this place is set up like a motherboard grid system of free energy. So when we get to this part, when we start showing the satellite views of these supposed mountains and different things like that, you'll see exactly what we're talking about, guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show one pattern that's man, I've got so many. But anything like any of this, but this is just rivers. But like this, like what do you see here? These type of patterns, just like a wood, electric, or a lightning bolt. Like these exactly. Type of things. These are like Lichtenberg pattern. But also the same pattern as the dendrites. Also, this one kind of them. This is like another kind, but look, they call it dendritic pores in silicon. So these are like not, these are like voids in the silicon. These are pores. It's not like something that grows out. It's something that's not there,
See how straight these are too here? And we're going to look at pictures, satellite view, but that one that we looked at in Iran, that was a satellite view, and it had these long, straight mountains.
Yeah.
Real close together and stuff.
Yeah, here they are straight because they're in a control environment. That's why they are almost perfect. But this is how crystal can, after the melting stuff, recrystallize when it's cooling down. This is how everything works. And second, no, not this one. I wanted to show.
I think it's going to be sooner than 2040. In my opinion, it could be 2026, 2027, maybe. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is cool.
What does it reminds you, Jen, of? This is what happened to a cross section of a cooling stuff, but they have put. I've read it. They have changed the oscillation of the pattern of the vibration, the oscillations of the energy that they goes through. They stopped it and restarted, but at some point when they stopped it, like this one stopped like growing, but this one just exploded. It looks like a volcano, like dendrite pattern.
Wow.
And
interesting.
Yeah, and then they continue, and there was another one, but this one continues to expand and to, I don't know, because it's hard to explain everything that they are showing here, because I need to read more of this. But in fact, it's the energy going into this. They're trying to grow this crystal, and these bumps are appearing, and these explosions, like in the crystal,
Angela just got here and she admitted it. She's late.
I don't feel dirty.
Angela, you're going to have to rewind. You missed a lot. You're going to have to get notes from the person sitting next to you in class. And there's going to be a test next week. So this is really heavy stuff. You're going to have to catch up.
Here they try different modulation of frequencies. In this one, they had a constant current going through. With the modulation, with they say wrong frequencies, I guess wrong for them, for what they were trying. But this one, the modular, the current modulated frequency is 33 megahertz.
Oh, of course, 33, right?
But like it creates like a clear straight pattern, exactly the same all the way. Just like these columns,
Yeah, you can even see the little like wave pattern in it, like these stackings, like the columns and Crowley columns and stuff.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But these are the same thing, but different frequencies, different exposure to it. But it creates different kind of a structural. It's not even a structure; it's spores in this. And you see where I get with these dendrites, because I just compared it with these Lichtenberg patterns on the plane. Depending on the oscillation is the frequency of the current. Depending on it, it crystallizes differently, and also in what solution it crystallizes in. But in the melt, or in water, or in potash, that is just water with salts, so it's water and melt.
Exactly.
So they just explain how the current can change different state from some things. But this is the interesting part. You can see that these dendrites, sorry, they are constant, always on top. This is the growth from the crystal, but the dendrites are all on top. They just continue on top, but not. This is a constant state. This is controlled, and this one is a dendrite burst model. Is still less not controlled. Just they let it go. But you can see that these dendrite just comes together and form one big clump,
Wow.
into it. But still, probably the structure of the dendrite is inside, so it makes it brittle and liner, like these striation lines, probably visible all over it because of this. It's still inside, but maybe at one point it's gonna cover it all and be just one big column because of these dendrites stuff.
Do you want to take a quick break? We're at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
No, I just want to, because we're in the dendrites, I think we're done with the dendrites. I'm just gonna show. Yes, okay. No, Jen, I think we're almost done with
okay,
these.
No problem.
I'll just show what I meant, why these dendrites or something. Dendrite growth, all right. Okay. So these dendrites, like I showed you, grow on any parts, and lithium also. And lithium, now we know that there are batteries. And here, this one, this is a motherboard, and this is 2 chips of the motherboard. And we always talk about these buildings on the motherboard. They're like chips creating different kind of thing, oscillation, vibration, energy. But you can see here the dendrites like growing.
Yep.
And they're similar, really similar to these Lichtenberg pattern going everywhere at this place.
That's right.
And you can see they start from either
component and kind of meet up in the middle there.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to see that when we look at the satellite photos of these supposed mountains that were actually buildings that show this effect.
And this is like the dendrite, the different type of dendrite growths that can appear on lithium crystals. They can be spheres, like just like I showed you, the basalt can be a sphere, like.
Yeah, we see a lot of those spheres around.
And it can be like a pillar.
A pillar?
Just like the basalt column.
Yes.
It could be close to fibrous, a mix of both, and just interlace together like we see in other places. And this, the facettings, and like you said to me, Jen, just like the crystal growing inside these caves.
That massive cave in Mexico that has the huge white pillars of crystal that people walk over and they have to wear special suits and stuff. That's what that picture looks like to me.
And I added like a mesa, like a place here. But yeah, what this is just formation of dendrite depending on the orientation of the grain. But here you can see that this dendrite grows all the way, and this is the melting point. Everything that's melted.
It's interesting that the dendrites actually have, the little lines in them, just like we see in the basalt columns.
Yeah, these are the striation we just
exactly.
showed, because they create these type of striation also, lateral ones. But this reminds me of a cavern. When they go into caverns underwater, all these stalactite and stalagmite grows. But in the water, how can they grow in the water? But maybe they were formed by the heat and stuff. Just the thought. And I just want to show one thing. This is just how a lithium battery works, a cathode, anode. And here, this place is made just like a battery.
Mm-hmm.
You see the ionosphere, ions.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the ion, where the barrier is of the ionosphere, just there. And this is.
And what were they doing? They were building these buildings all the way up to the heavens.
Yes, and you can see the Earth is the negative.
Into the ionosphere, and we're gonna explain how this all ties into this.
Yes,
guys.
And this is a battery, a lithium battery. And if you want to know how a battery gets caught on fire with Tesla stuff and thing, because there's too much high energy discharge between the anode and the cathodes, and the dendrites are formed inside this battery. But when the dendrite pierces the separator because of the too much energy, it causes a short circuit and burns. But the funny thing, if I put it this way, you see, and we talk about these dendrites thing, could be
piercing that line in the middle being the ionosphere.
Yes, this is the ionosphere. And if we build like a building or a mountain or anything that grows past the ionosphere, it creates a short circuit. And, it could probably be the reason why this place has been destroyed.
And I was telling Shapu about the Tower of Babel, what it says in the Bible, that, this thing was built to the heavens. And, God said, look what they're doing down there. We need to stop this.
Yes, they want to go meet God, so they built it the highest they could be, but maybe they built it too high, and it caused the short circuit to all of this. So it's just a thought that I had when I saw this, and it really gets into this. And this is just another type of dendrite growth. You can see how it grows. Like it's this one. You can see that the cooling stopped here and started back because it started to grow. But this is a smooth surface, and this is the irregular type of thing. But you can see that even this type of irregular pattern looks like things that you could actually see here on Earth. I think I even got a picture somewhere. Yeah, like this. Like this, look.
Look at that. Wow.
Just melted stuff right there. But yeah, we can go. This just another comparison with these striation that we see. This is things melt, not only melting, but the same way of liquid flow. It starts with these striations, and then the more there is, the more it looks like a flow and melts.
And it looks a lot like what we see in that fort with the melted brick.
Yeah, this type of formation, you can see it everywhere. Even in the canyon. We didn't show it, but
we will.
Yeah, look at all of this, and I'll show you afterwards. So, okay, Jen.
It's really good.
How long do you want it to go?
Oh, just a little break.
Okay.
Let me see here. Regroup for a minute.
Yeah.
Put a little song on. Let me see what I got here. All right, guys, we'll be back in 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Tell me it was all in my head, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Melt out. 101, baby. Once you see the melted bricks, you won't fall for their lame ass tricks. Geologist, you're fired.
Generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Boom, baby!
Just how many, quote, natural formations are really just extremely weathered, once extremely large stone-built structures? Maybe there are many stone granite hills, and even maybe mountains that dot our earth, which are grand structures of a forgotten people.
Boom, baby!
Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
All right, guys, we are back. I got my pepper kitty in here.
Yeah, mine is right there.
Yeah, I haven't really heard her much during the show today. She must be
She's
on
just
her.
looking now. She's a good cat.
See, because we usually don't live stream in the middle of the afternoon, and this is siesta time for my cats. Pepper just woke up, and the other ones are still sleeping, so that's probably why she's so quiet.
I don't know. She's just looking at me right now. I don't know what she.
We spoke to.
Oh.
That's funny. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get into some folders of photos. I think I got about 20 minutes before my husband calls me to come pick him up for work. All so right. Let's look at some landscape stuff and melted buildings.
All right. Okay. Now we're just talking about this pattern that I showed, like the melting from the flow. It starts like, and the more it goes, the more it gets scattered and chaotic. Just like this, or like this. But I'm not. Oh yeah, you wanted to, or like this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy looking.
Or this. Or what do we see in Petra?
Melted steps, nothing to see here.
Or just like this. It's free flowing, because it's flowing so much that it creates pockets of air between the flows, and that's why it's like this. To me, that's what I see. That's all. some other people can see other stuff. It's okay as long as you don't buy the narrative that they give you.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna look at. You wanted to look at these high up pictures.
Yes, because this is where the money's at right here. These are the money shots.
Oh, did I pass my folder? No. All right.
Shapu's got a lot of folders.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay, so these are satellite images.
Satellite images.
Yeah, they all taken from a high up plane. There's no satellites, or if they are on the balloons, like you just said.
So as you can see here with these mountain ranges around this circle here, you could see that these must have been massively high buildings and that they pierced the ionosphere possibly and melted down out and away from each other, causing this, what is this called again, this effect? Dendrites effect?
Oh, yeah, the Lichtenberg dendritic.
Dendritic effect.
Yeah, I have better pictures of this type of thing.
We're going to go to the mountain.
I have so much stuff that I have to look for. But the juice will start after this. After the war, yeah. Okay. Yeah, these type of things.
All right, guys. So this is what we're looking at here. Now, this is on a macro level, not micro.
Yeah.
So we weren't kidding when we said these had to have been massive buildings.
Yeah, because this one, it's the same thing. This is this thing here.
Exactly, and you can see how it's coming from a central point outward.
Yeah, always. Always from the highest point toward these plains, because geologists will try to tell you it's because of the erosion from the rain, but I don't really buy the totality of it. Yes, it could erode, but not when it was there. It's only eroding the rest, the loose materials.
Wow, that is crazy looking.
Yeah, you can see all these Lichtenberg pattern or dendrite growth from the melt, because then these dendrite growth don't grow unless something has melted and then cool down. Like every crystal that exists had to be melted before it has been created.
Wow.
Not just have a crystal just like this, it needs to come from somewhere. And what we are entertaining, the theories that we are entertaining here, is that they come from buildings. That's this place was maybe all built before anybody was here, and then we left off with everything. We have all the possibilities. We can create many stuff, and we made stuff maybe too high to like it said, to get close to God, and we destroyed ourselves. This is one theory, or that the other one, that it's a God's judgment. Both can work. Maybe both are the same thing. We don't know.
Yep, we can only go by what's left over here, guys, and we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
This is why we see this type of crazy melted out stuff here that we can't even really make sense of.
Yeah. And all of these, what we know as rocks and stuff, come from the melt. That created the structures. Melting created everything that we know today: sand, rocks, crystals, salt, And I still going by my theory that all the precious stones that we know came from probably the leftover bodies of the population, like crushed, compressed, and just like they make diamonds today, like false diamonds, and you can,
Right.
but false diamond, they're almost exactly the same as the real ones. So
Wow.
yeah,
This is just so compelling.
yeah. If you look at all of this now, it's really hard to make, but from eye up, you can. But if you get close, like in the microscope, you can more see the details, and you can see that probably these are like rock everywhere and remains, and that's the
This one
thing.
here, I love this one.
Yeah, because you can clearly see that something was really big here at one point that just melted away. And all of these, when I was talking about, I didn't show it. I didn't have the picture I was looking for. That these dendrite thing, they are on a three-dimensional level. Not only lateral and upwards, but everywhere at the same time. When they grow. Because we in the pictures that we show, you only see like a 2D model. The Y and Z, or the, I don't know what else, lateral and upwards. I don't know.
And below.
Or horizontal and vertical. But there's another dimension that is the other one to make it the 3D. So it grows in all direction at once. Yeah, what else? Yeah, like this, I don't know what this thing was, but it was crazy.
Seemed to be one massive interconnected building.
Yeah, you can see
And
some kind of,
it melted, spread out from itself, coming outward like that.
yeah.
It's amazing. This is why throughout all this stuff, all these places they go, like, oh, we just stumbled upon some ruins in this remote location. It's like, because the whole thing was a building. You find a little pocket of survival here.
Yeah. Yeah, buildings and houses and people just living everywhere, because I believe that there were much more people back then, way more people.
This one's really cool. You could tell this one was much higher. It's melted down into itself and away from itself here and spread out.
Yeah. Because they're trying to tell us that there's too much people now, these globalists and stuff, that's totally untrue. There's not enough people in their cities to make more money. That's the thing, There's so much space, places that people can go, but people just are clumped into packs because they have been raised this way, too.
Wow.
Yeah, you can clearly see the flow of all of it.
All of these were much, much higher, these ranges that they call mountain ranges. These much, much higher. Look up into the sky here where this cloud bank is, this line of delineation at the top here between the blue sky way above at the very top and below this line. These buildings had to have at least have come up to this cloud bank line, which is close to the ionosphere, I would assume.
Yeah. Must be really high, but we know how the biggest mountain is, so it's really.
Oh, that one there, it looks like an explosion. The next picture, that one there, we have that.
The Trinity crater stuff. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah. There's even this thing this imprint of something there. You know.
Yeah.
And you can see that this cracking there that comes from this thing.
The central point, right? Yep.
That I don't know what it is.
Whatever it was a component on this grid system for sure.
Yeah.
And then that thing there, that looks like something you would see in Nazca.
Yeah, looks like there's some kind of a structure or left over a structure there.
It's crazy how it's emanating out from that like that.
Yeah. And this, Jen, you were wondering what these wires, like in computers,
Yes, that's what it looks like to me.
wire strips.
Mm-hmm. And it would lead right into this crater right here, which could have been a massive component on this grid system here that fried and shorted out.
Yeah. They blew something up here. You know.
Yeah, they probably blew up whatever they didn't want you to see that was left there.
Yeah. Because there are the like I told already, there's some craters. They have created craters with bombs that are as big as these meteor craters that they are selling you, and they're the same shape. So, which one? I know there's no meteor craters, so maybe they're all bomb tests at some sort. Yeah, these ones, you can clearly see all the Lichtenberg patterns here.
Right.
You know, everywhere.
I'm going to look something up while you're doing this.
Yes, go ahead, Jim. This, I don't know what it is. These are like it's...
This one here. Okay, I'm gonna screen share real quick because that one that we looked at, that it had the crazy parallel lines leading into that blast zone there. Let me share screen real quick. Entire screen. Here we go. Share. Okay. It's this one here. Okay, guys. This is what it looked like to me, what I was seeing. See that, Shapu?
Yes.
It was on a circuit board here. See these lines coming in here, just like at that spot that you just showed. And look at the way it's all melted out and muffed up like that. You can't even really make out what these components were. How that could be, that right there could be like one of that Goblin Valley in Utah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find another one here. Okay, here, there's this one.
Yeah, you can even see like the lines that you were talking about.
Yes, yes. I'll put it back up. That's why I picked this one, because you can see the lines right here coming into it. And then let me go back to this one that I was just on prior to it. Oh, no. Shit. Hold on. I don't know where it went. Oh, yeah, here, this one. Look, see how this one looks like it left a crater? This component melted away, and it looks like a crater in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See? Yeah. And there's another one. Again, this one's obliterated. Now, the things that are around it look pretty good, surviving pieces. But what happened here in the center? You know, it's all melted away, all muffed up.
Oh yeah, yes.
And let me see if there's one more I can show. Maybe this one. Let's see, zoom in on this one here. Well, they could say that's Hawaii right there. There's Mauna Loa.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys understand what we're getting at here on that one. Let me come off screen share. There you go.
Yeah, that was good, Jen.
I like that melted inverted round Petra fried. That's exactly what they should call Petra fried. Yes.
Yeah, I got maybe show a couple more and we can end it up.
Okay, so that right there looks like that pattern, that wood pattern that they were trying to produce in that controlled experiment.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know can clearly see something melted here, because they would tell us probably that this is erosion from water or
some ancient ocean that was there
ancient
millions of years
ocean
ago.
in the desert always. But deserts weren't there before, probably all made up.
I love fried food, but not fried buildings. Janktified. I like that. Janktified. You guys in the words I use is so funny. Janky, muffed up, jackwagon melt. Look at this. We got 29 people here. Welcome, everybody. Anybody's coming in late, you're going to have to rewind. There's going to be a test.
Yeah.
Again, here, even on this picture, you can see that this must have been one long building. The melt came from the top down, also underneath, but the way it branched out in the melt, it's coming down, flowing on either side, where you're just left with this faint top part that looks like almost a straight wall here.
Yeah.
Oh, that one below the one you're just about to click is crazy. Click the one below that one, Chapeau. Yeah, that one there. Look at that, guys. Just look at it. Wow.
Yeah, this.
Mm-mm.
This is what Jen?
I said, we make it make sense.
Yeah.
At least we're trying.
Yeah, this is like the St. Andreas fault, where they say that these two continental plates collided. This is how they explain this stuff.
I'm looking now, Crystal.
Okay. You can see these Lichtenberg or dendrites indentation.
All right, hold on. I gotta bring my Facebook back up. Crystal just sent a couple of pictures.
All right. Go ahead, Jen. Just
it was Mexico at 35,000 feet.
I'm done.
Okay, let me get into the screen share. This is from Crystal. New Mexico at 35,000 feet. Entire screen. There we go. All right, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Zoom in on this. Wow.
Yeah, the electrical surge was crazy there.
And look at it over here on this side too. Coming up through here. Wow. All right, got one more picture that goes with this. I'm gonna go this way. Yep, this one here. Look at this. It only went so far.
Yes.
That's crazy. Look at this square pattern over here. I wonder what this is here. See this right here, Chapeau? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Very strange. It's big, whatever it is. It's huge. That's what she said, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Just wow. Johnny Cool says janky electro melt. I like that one too. That's a good one. Some janky electro melt. All right, let me see here. All right, so I think we at least scratched the surface on this this new idea of oh, there's my husband. Hang on a second, guys.
All right. No, go ahead. Yeah. No, we just scratched the surface because I had like more stuff, but
We're gonna have to definitely cover this again, the rest of it on another show, like recap and then continue on. But I do have to get out of here and go pick him up and do dinner, and then we're gonna be on at least it'll be 8 p.m. Central Time on CFM's channel. Just depends on where you are in the country, but it's 8 p.m. Central.
Yeah, for me it's 9. So
right. Thank you guys. We love you, and I appreciate all your help, Shapu, with trying to figure this out and put it all together. We can go over more tonight on my show. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I just, I felt like there was so much to present that we needed to get some of this out on a separate show. But I would love to go over more of this. We're gonna have an exciting night tonight over there on CFM's show Into the Melt with Jen and Shapu. All right, guys, I'm going to play a little video on the way out here. I love you. I love you, Shapu. I love everybody out there in the audience. And I always say.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jen. Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you tonight.
That's right. Let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. We're trying to figure this shit the fuck out. We might not have it all right, but I think we are definitely on the right track, at least. Being able to verbalize this in some type of legitimate scientific mannerisms, if you will.
Yeah, those comparisons to what we see on the macro and the micro. It's and like it was explained, it's all the same aspects. So,
all right, guys, we are out of here. Love you.
Open your eyes, see the lies they feed us endlessly. Clocks tick, but we control the time mentally. They claim power, but fear our unity's energy. Break the chains, rewrite our own destiny. They got the media, but we got the streets while they scheme for profits. We build our beats, say no to the system. Craft your unique identity. Live free, break free, find your own serenity. Stand together, rise with the truth that we know. Unite and show them which way the winds will blow. March to a rhythm, take back what they stole. Living life on our terms, reclaiming our souls. They paint a picture of a world that's full of fear, all illusions, playing tricks on what we hold dear. But we're the architects, the builders of a new dawn. When we stop following blindly, their grip is gone. Their rule is just a myth, a shadow on our wall. We hold the keys, rise up and stand tall. It's time to breathe, break free from the cage, write our own chapters, turn a brand new page. Stand together, rise with the truth that we know. Unite and show them which way the winds will blow. Stand together, rise with the truth that we know. Unite and show them which way the winds will blow. Recognize your strength, hit your very own crown. Their lies unravel when we got the truth we found. Don't let their voices whisper fear upon your dreams. March on with love, paint the world in your own theme. See they're shaking when we rise with heart and soul. Together we conquer, make their stories old. We got the vision, no need for their chains. Free as the skies, dancing in the rain. We become as one, we become together. Rise with the truth that